Hi, I chose to study flipped classroom because of the direction technology is driving education and the movement towards student-centered learning approaches. My goal with this research paper was to understand the benefits and challenges of a flipped classroom. Specifically, I wanted to determine whether the flipped classroom model enhances student engagement and promotes a deeper understanding of mathematical content. In this video, I will explain how flipped classroom came about, what it is, the advantages and disadvantages to flipping, and how I plan to implement it. For much of the 20th century, the traditional teacher-centered lecture approach has been the predominant instructional method. However, technological advancements are leading to noticeable shifts in how we teach. One recent trend has been the flipped classroom approach, which has steadily increased in popularity over the past decade. The flipped teaching method is not particularly groundbreaking and has been used throughout history, especially in higher education, where professors assigned readings as homework and discussed the topics during class. An early pioneer was Salman Khan, who created a library of free online tutoring videos covering a variety of academic subjects known as Khan Academy. These ideas paved the way for later contributors Jonathan Bergman and Aaron Sams, who recorded their chemistry lectures, uploaded them to YouTube, and required their students to watch the videos before class to further teach and develop concepts. They coined this approach the flipped classroom. The flipped classroom model, in its most basic form, reverses the traditional model in that students use technology to access direct instruction outside of the classroom before class. This frees up valuable class time and prepares students to engage with practice problems and activities that require higher level thinking, all while a teacher is present to facilitate, answer questions, and offer differentiated support. While there exists no universally standardized approach to implementing a flipped classroom, at its core, the flipped classroom is rooted in the constructivist learning theory. Advocates of constructivism argue that learners actively construct knowledge through engaging in authentic learning tasks, and sense-making is supported through social interactions with peers. So why should teachers flip to flipped classroom? First, it offers a more flexible approach for students. Today's technology ensures that educational materials are accessible anytime, anywhere, as long as students have an internet connection. This is especially helpful for busy students who need to get caught up on missed classes due to extracurricular events. Students can engage with the lecture at their own pace by pausing, rewinding, and rewatching videos as often as they need. Secondly, this method enhances the number of interactions between teacher and student. Darrell Huff said that direct instruction often reduces students to passive listeners, with information transferring from the instructor's notes to the students' notebooks without passing through the brains of either. However, in flipped classrooms, the role of teacher shifts from a facilitator of content to a facilitator of student-centered activities. Another critical benefit of flipped classrooms is the promotion of 21st century skills that today's students need to succeed in their careers during the information age. To succeed in a flipped learning environment, students must demonstrate initiative and self-directed learning. Lastly, Sams and Bergman discovered a surprising benefit of flipped learning: the impact on parents. Increasingly, more parents are gaining a greater understanding of what their children are learning by watching the videos with them. Despite the benefits, there are some key drawbacks to flipped classroom. The basic principle of flipped classroom hinges on students' motivation to work on their own time. However, not every student has the self-discipline or motivation to engage with the materials independently, resulting in a lack of preparedness for class activities. Secondly, using videos or other digital technologies to deliver content outside of class does not guarantee that anything will happen differently during class time. Researchers Kay McDonald argue that rather than devoting considerable time and resources to developing online videos, it may be advantageous to focus on carefully selecting in-class instruction methods that promote active learning strategies. The following steps outline a path I plan to use when launching Flipped Classroom next fall. First and foremost, adopting a flipped classroom will necessitate substantial buy-in from students, parents, and administrators. The logical starting point is to meet with my administrative team to discuss the pros and cons and address any concerns or misconceptions they might have. If given the green light, the next step would be to curate resources. One of the more popular apps is Edpuzzle, which allows you to create interactive video lessons by recording yourself and then embedding questions or quizzes.
Alternatively, you could modify existing videos. Step 3 addresses classroom management. I anticipate the first week of school will involve balancing building student engagement in math while introducing and practicing the basics of the flipped classroom. I want to establish the expectation of watching pre-recorded lectures while coaching valuable note-taking skills. Next, I want to be mindful of which content can be assigned through video outside of the classroom and which concepts should be constructed through an inquiry-based approach inside the classroom. Assigned videos will be posted on Google Classroom prior to each lesson. A crucial step will be preparing for the additional instructional time. Activities I plan to incorporate are classroom discussions, small group activities, problem solving, and hopefully project-based learning. Last but not least, as I trial flipped classroom, I want to be proactive in gathering as much assessment data and qualitative feedback from students and parents as possible to evaluate the approach's effectiveness and identify areas for improvement.